Hello everyone, welcome to Gate Academy Global. Since past 4 to 5 days, the BARC and HAL together are been the great area of concern or the great area of discussion between the technocrats. Because the BARC Bhabha Atomic Research Center and HAL Hindustan Aeronautics Limited are being the top recruiters for the technocrats, and even it had been a dream job for all of the engineers. They have come up with their job notification. But once you'll see their job notification, their date of written examinations are being classing. I can feel your pain. I can feel your anger. Such a bad time is been running for the engineers. The number of engineers which are being passed out from the India each year and the number of jobs which are being offered to them, there had not been any match between the demand and supply. And in that scenario, even the top recruiters of the India are been coming with the job recruitment and their dates are been classing. I can feel how bad you might be feeling. But still, we are being the engineer. If certain challenge or certain problem do come in front of us, we know how to conquer, how to manage those challenges and problems. I was going through all of the situations and I had been focused over all of the permutation and combination and had come up with this PDF. With the help of this PDF, at least two of the important conclusions you can derive. The first conclusion, what must be our plan of action such that there should not be any clash between BRC and HAL. What are the different initiatives we can take from our side? That's been the first thing. The second thing has been, if at all, a few of the students are being trapped between the BRC and HAL, that the written examination of the BRC and HAL had been falling on the same date. So whether they should go ahead with the BRC written examination or the HAL written examination, we are going to conclude with the help of few number of input parameters. Anyways, this complete column is being dedicated towards BRC and this complete column is being dedicated towards the HAL. Focus over the online examination date. The BRC had the online examination frame of time between 7 to 13. That means your examination date may fall in between anywhere 7 to 13, including 7 and 13. And same goes with the HL. It's been from 7 to 9, including 7 and 9. If the written examination of the BRC is at 10 or after 10, definitely you will not have any problem. You will not have any class. But the problem do come into the picture if the BRC and HL, the date of written examination has been fallen on 7/7, 8/8 or 9/9. In that case, you becomes victim. So at very beginning, let me focus how we can rule out this situation when there had been the clash between the BRC and HL. What we are going to do for that? All of these students has to spend a little amount of time. They had to pick their phone and they had to call to the corresponding authority in BRC and HL who deals with the recruitment. And politely you have to tell them, sir, the notification number of HAL and their written examination is being clashing on the same date. And you can tell blah blah blah, sir, this has not been a great time for us, and if the top recruiters of India, if their written examination dates are been clashing, it would be a very bad for us. So probably they would understand. As I had worked in BRC, I know they are the good people, but still, once you will be keep calling to them, no, and the volume of input what they are getting from your side, definitely they will start rethink. Yes, and same thing you must do with the HL as well. They should refer the notification number of the BRC and you should say, and end of the day you should also write, and when you would be writing to the BRC, no, you should attach the notification or the small notification which had been released by the HL, and when you write for the HL, no, you should attach an image of the notification which have been released with the BRC, and you can phrase an email in such a way that you are being the prominent companies of the India for which the engineers are being dream of. So sir, kindly you can coordinate, and this class of date can be avoided. Probably they will listen. If the volume of call, the volume of emails are being large, definitely they will listen. Because in past I had seen once the BRC date of examinations are being changed. Reason is not exactly been known, but I feel the reason is being the class of dates. So this has been the best way, and if they had been listened in this way, definitely your all of the problems would be smashed at once. Next, if I assume you have followed this step and there had not been any further response from their side, and still the date of written examination remained same. Now few of these students would fall in the category of 7/7, 8/8 and 9/9. That means they can sit either in BRC, either they can sit in HAL. In that case, what you can do, and what must be the plan of action in that case? See what happens. One of the great possibility with the BRC is been in between 14th to 18th of March, the window would be open. In that frame of time, or in that window of time, you can select what must be your date of exam which you want to sit in BRC. So what you do, morning of 4th of March itself, you choose the date of examination somewhere beyond 9, because if the HL exam date, the HL date you will be coming, definitely it would be coming in between 7 to 9. So you by default select somewhere 10 to 13, anywhere 10 to 13. Even you can take the margin of one day, you can select in between 11 to 13. What happens, I have seen from my past experience, I can say at very beginning, the all of the dates or all of the possibilities will be available for you, but as the seats gets filled in each of the day, no, you will not be able to select that day after some time. So I think, what I feel, it's been first come first serve. So once you come first, you will be having the better opportunity that you will be able to select the date of BRC examination somewhere beyond 9. So you had to log in with your proper credential morning of 4th of March itself and try to select the date of examination, maybe 11, 12 and 13. So obviously your problem would get resolved and there would not be any clash between the BARC and HAL. Next, the next important thing, the gate result is also being connected with the complete scenario. The gate result is going to get announced on 17th of March. And if you have been top ranker, your rank has been 200, 300, in that case, what is going to happen? Anyways, the BRC is going to call you through the gate score itself. In that case, again, you need not to sit in BRC written examination, because all the way through the gate written examination itself, they are calling you. In that case, again, if the class takes place, no, you can leave or you can forget about the BRC. You can sit in HL all the way. With the help of gate scorecard, you are going to get called. Yes, but this is not in case of HL, because in HL the first step is been only and only one, and that had been the separate written examination. They are not going to call you through the gate, but yes, here we have got the two opportunity. So this has been the another way through which we can conquer the complete situation. The next important thing has been the selection ratio. In BARC, the selection ratio has been 1:25, and there in HAL is somewhere 1:7, 1:5. So I can say this has been a pro, or I can say this has been a con. How it's been a con? Because they would be calling so many volume number of students, and out of 25 only one students are going to get finally selected. But this has been pro as well. They are going to call more number of students. Your possibilities are been increasing. Your possibility for experience, the first interview is been increasing. So anyways, I can say the pro, I can say the con. Written interview. The BRC written examination is just been an entry point. There had not been any weightage of the written once you had been through from the written examination, and then the selection has been completely based on your interview performance. Whereas in case of HAL, almost 85% weightage would be given to the written examination, and the remaining 50% weightage would be given to the interview. Again, I would not be able to say which had been better and which had been comparatively less better. Why? Because if your written examination is not been great, and still if you had been through, almost 85% weightage had been given to your written examination where you had not been performed well. So if you had been performing very well in interview, still the chances for getting selected in the HL becomes very less. So almost you had to see all of the plus and minus, all of the pros and cons I had been bringing in front of you. Now you had to make a call. If the class takes place, whether you want to sit in the BRC, whether you want to sit in HL. I'm going to talk about all of the plus, all of the minus. Yes. Next, toughness of the paper. In BRC, the toughness of the paper would be same gate level. So the student who had been fully prepared for the gate, probably they are not scoring in gate, but they were fully prepared. Their marks in mock test, grand test was superb. They are not able to encash those performance in gate. That means you have been fully prepared in gate. Probably you will do good in BRC, because the pattern of the questions, type of numericals, types of thought-provoking theories which are getting asked in gate, same level of questions you are going to experience here as well. Comparatively, HL, the paper is been simpler, but there they used to ask the questions related to the general awareness as well. I can see this has been again a negative point of the HL examination. Why? Because most of the engineers who had been fully preparing for the GATE examination, they may not be that much comfortable over the general awareness. Next, if we'll talk about the future aspects. In BRC, I feel the future aspects are being more secured in terms of your personal growth. See, the BRC has been completely dedicated towards the research and development. So what happens? You had been working as an employee and you will be forced to upgrade your education. Like in first year itself, when you get placed in BRC, the first year has been completely dedicated towards training program, and the training program is the first year of the MTech program. And in next year, you will be getting the MTech. That means your job and your education had been running parallelly. And after some time, your boss itself would be forcing you to get enrolled in PhD. Sometime you will feel like whether you are doing education or whether you had been working as an employee, but you have been doing both. This has been the most part of the BRC. Your personal education growth and your employment both would be running smoothly. But this has not been the case in case of HL. Once you go in HL, you will be placed in design or maybe maintenance and each and everything. But there, in terms of education, you will not be getting the personal growth. Yes, is that part clear to all of us? Is that part clear to all of us? In the same sequence, if we'll be talking about the remuneration, approximately you can say 8 lakh, and here it's 12 lakhs. So obviously I can say this has been better inside. I can say this has been the pro and this has been the con. This has been almost what I'm saying, CTC, cost to company. Salary has been done. Job type, the best thing regarding the BRC has been the job offered by the central government of India, and this has been the public sector undertaking. And this is the current era. You can see whenever the budget do come, no, most of the technical students or most of the most of the students who are being placed in different PSUs has to have a fear that there can be disinvestment of a certain PSU. This time the NTPC was a PSU, next time it could be a private company. This fear would always be there if you had been recruited in PSU, but at least in BRC this has not been a problem. And that to BRC has been working with the sensitive material, nuclear material. So definitely disinvestment in the BRC probably it is not going to take place near future. So I can say this has been the pro, this has been the con, this has been the pro, this has been the con, this has been the pro, this has been the con, this has been the pro, this has been the con. I can say this has been the pro and cons both. And here I can say the pro and cons both in both of these sequences, the pro and cons lies. Next, the location, I would say both of the openings in HAL and BRC, they have got the premium locations, and even they had got the remote locations as well. So in that case, I won't say which has been the pro part and which has been the con parts. And seats, what I feel, the number of seats for the electronics, if I take the reference, has been equally same. So now you can make your own opinion. If the date classes, which exam you are going to sit, that's been the first thing. And secondly, what must be our plan of action to rule out the clash between HAL and BRC. Bye bye. Take care.